Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Terry Rozier has a theory about what's behind the Heat's three-game losing streak. The Miami Heat suffered their third straight loss on Sunday with a 110-108 defeat to the worst statistical team in the NBA, the Washington Wizards. Just as the Heat were finding momentum in the season, they've hit another roadblock. The Heat were tested on both ends of the floor, and their inability to knock down shots from beyond the arc haunted them in the end. Washington held the lead advantage for much of the first quarter. They dared Miami to play a physical game right off the tip, and the Heat accepted that challenge. Miami finished the game scoring 62 of its 108 points in the painted area. It looked like it was going to be a dogfight that got settled under the rim, but the Wizards reverted to their three-point shooting in the second half. Miami ended the night shooting 30.3% from distance, punching in just 10 triples. The Wizards made 11 of their 16 shots from three in the second half. They turned the matchup into an old-school versus new-school battle. They made theirs down the stretch. A lot of that happened in the two previous games as well. "We missed some shots, they made theirs," said Heat coach Erik Spoelstra. They did get into a comfortable rhythm down the stretch. They were getting into their game a little bit too much, in my opinion. Nearly every player in the Heat's rotation had a rough shooting night. Duncan Robinson shot 4 of 13 from beyond the arc. Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier combined to shoot 0 for 7 from 3, and the Heat's bench hit 11 of their 23 field goal attempts. The ball movement wasn't inspiring. The Heat didn't have a single player notch more than 4 assists on the night and finished with 20 as a team, while Washington totaled 35 assists. Tyus Jones had 16 of his own for the Wizards. Miami's offense was extremely troubling. It couldn't find a lead man like Jones to take over the offense and facilitate down the stretch. Spoelstra and Miami pride themselves on their defense. They attempted to play their own style of basketball in the second half, pushing their way into the paint, but foul trouble hurt the Heat's chances to claw back to victory. Miami's starting lineup combined for 13 fouls, much of which occurred later in the game, leading to bonus opportunities for Washington. "Just got to sustain the right level of play, man. We got to have a way that we want to play, and we got to go out there and do it to a T," said Terry Rozier. "We understand in this league it's the best players in the world, but if we got a plan and we can execute it, we're tough to beat. These last couple of games we get away from our identity of who we are." The Heat will stay grounded in South Florida for their next matchup on Wednesday against the defending champion Denver Nuggets. It's an NBA Finals rematch, but also another important chance to gain ground in the East standings. Rozier spoke on the Heat losing their identity at times. "This may have been fine early in the season, but the clock is ticking." Miami Heat assistant coach Caron Butler talks Green Bay Packers future with Jordan Love. Miami Heat assistant coach and former Milwaukee Bucks forward Caron Butler recently shared his thoughts on the Green Bay Packers future, specifically focusing on quarterback Jordan Love. In a candid conversation with C. Hendo, Butler expressed his optimism about Love's potential and leadership qualities. The Green Bay Packers have a storied history in the NFL, boasting legendary players like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. With a track record of success and a dedicated fan base, the Packers are considered one of the league's most iconic franchises. In a recent interview, Caron Butler commended Jordan Love for his fearlessness and ability to handle pressure on the field. Butler noted that Love has shown promise in moving the needle for the Packers offensively and has emerged as a vocal leader within the team. One aspect of Love's game that Butler highlighted was his demeanor during post-game press conferences. According to Butler, Love demonstrates the traits of a true leader by staying solution-focused and maintaining a positive attitude, even in challenging situations. "The poise that he shows is really remarkable. The leadership that he shows is unbelievable. I go down there before we take a drive, and he's talking to all the guys, encouraging everybody," said LaFleur. "Everybody in that locker room is going to fight for Jordan Love. We're seeing what he's all about. He's a competitive dude, and I think he's learned a lot over these last couple of years from one of the all-time greats. It's cool to see his personality come out, his fight, and his playmaking ability," said LaFleur. "He's the leader of our team," pass rusher Rashawn Gary shared this past season. "That's just who J-Love is. I've been seeing it since year one. His confidence has been building and building." Rasul Douglas added, "He's just got swag. He knows he's that guy." As the Packers transition from the Aaron Rodgers era, Jordan Love represents the future of the franchise. Butler's endorsement of Love's abilities suggests that the Packers are in capable hands moving forward, with a quarterback who possesses both talent and leadership qualities. In conclusion, Caron Butler's insights provide valuable perspective on the Green Bay Packers' future with Jordan Love at the helm. As Love continues to develop and grow as a player, the Packers can look forward to a bright future under his leadership. With support from coaches like Butler and a dedicated fan base behind him, Love has the potential to write the next chapter in the storied history of the Green Bay Packers. Mavericks' Luka Doncic makes history in win versus Heat. Heading into Thursday night's matchup against the Miami Heat, Dallas Mavericks star Luka Doncic was on the verge of matching some impressive NBA history. He had recorded a triple-double while scoring 30-plus points in 4 straight games, matching Oscar Robertson for second most ever. The number 1 spot in that list was filled by Russell Westbrook, who accomplished the feat 5 times in 2017. Against the Heat, Doncic did match the mark Westbrook set as he scored 35 points, with 11 rebounds and 11 assists. It is quite an impressive feat for Doncic, who has been stuffing the stat sheet all season. While he tied Westbrook for the most 30-plus point triple-doubles in a row, he made some more NBA history on Thursday night. According to Tim McMahon of ESPN, Doncic has broken the tie he had with Westbrook and Robertson for most 35-plus point triple-doubles in a row. He now sits alone atop that list with 4 straight games. But the historic performance wasn't what Doncic was focused on after the game. He was happy that it came in a victory, as it snapped the 3-game losing streak Dallas was on entering the game against Miami. "It's great, especially when it comes with the win," Doncic said, brushing off the topic after his 35-point, 11-rebound, 11-assist performance. "That's all that matters right now." It was an impressive victory for the Mavericks, who had to climb their way back from a 15-point deficit during the game. They were able to figure things out on the defensive end of the court in the second half, curtailing the number of three-pointers the Heat were connecting on. Defensive efforts like the one they had in the second half have to become the norm in Dallas if they are going to make any noise in the postseason. They can score with any team in the league, as Doncic and Kyrie Irving are a dynamic duo offensively. But they don't offer much in the way of production defensively, putting a lot of pressure on their teammates. Dallas is now 2-3 during Doncic's historic streak, as his gaudy numbers haven't been enough to get the team wins consistently. A big reason for that is the inability of the Mavericks to consistently get stops on the defensive end. Since the All-Star break, Dallas has the worst defensive rating in the NBA. Doncic is incredible with the ball in his hands, but if he and his teammates don't figure things out defensively, their stay in the playoffs, should they even make it, will be short-lived. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation Luka Doncic? Leave your opinion in the comments.